What is up, Rad Potential YouTube? I'm Mr. Rad, and this is my rotary swap Dodge Colt. And unfortunately, because the new rally car is sitting behind the camera right now, this is most likely going to be the last time we get to see the Dodge Colt rip. So my buddy Patrick, who I bought this car from, is in town, and I wanted him to drive it in its current final form because he only enjoyed these things with piston engines, and the rotary engine is the way. So enjoy this video. Stay tuned for the end because I'm going to show Patrick the new rally car and get his reaction to it, and I cannot wait for you guys to see what we have in store that's going to be replacing my rotary swap 1977 Dodge Colt rally car. I promise you, it is cooler, if not maybe a lot. It's a lot more cool. It's so weird seeing my own car from the outside of the car. But we're gonna jump up on top of one of these RX-7s and get some good footage, you know?
The steering wheel came out from my fingers. I just can't reach it.
Yeah? What do you want, like a pillow?
I wonder if we can put something like behind my back and get me
I've got some pillows I think we could put in there.
Oh well, let me try it again.
So I mean,
it slipped out of my finger.
If you like loosen the belt, and you could probably not put the lap belts on and just put yourself pretty tight with the shoulder belts if you wanted to.
But I don't have anything to hold myself in. Oh, let me try it again. How do you start it?
Just
this one?
Master on, and then just press that button. Yep.
It's so different.
When you're like race car driver, you have all these nuances. When you're like a driver, you got all these nuances for how you like to sit in the car. And that car is definitely set up for me. That thing sounds so good. Yeah! Yeah. What do you think?
It's still fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works good. Yeah, I just need to be a little closer to the wheel and I could have a good time with that.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. It sounds epic from the outside.
I know. I gotta see that. I gotta see that. No, it works good, man. Everything's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sick. I would say it's like a KX125 dirt bike, just like it. Nice. I'll open the garage door. You just want to pull it in?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
It's still fun.
It's still good, isn't it?
It's still fun. The rotary engine actually works pretty good because it's kind of like a two-stroke. Like when you bog it, you have like traction control, and then when you get it into the pipe, you can just let it rip. So it works better as a rally car, sort of, than I anticipated.
Yeah.
So it's super fun. Yeah. It's
the old
great.
like 2.6 was so mid-rangey that like it didn't feel like it would get out of hand, but it was kind of hard. Like you were saying, like traction control, like it would, when you cracked the throttle, it cracked the throttle, like it was ripping. So you had to, you know, this.
You just kind of,
like,
I think in that car, you just kind of like, if you didn't need the RPM, you just geared it up and just mashed it, and it just stayed in that mid power all the time, like slightly spinning, but going forward.
Yeah.
So it worked really good, but this is really fun.
Yeah. It's definitely like, you know, you're in a 50-year-old car, you're never gonna win the rally event in this, but it's one of those, like, you can never get out of this car and not be smiling. Like, you're just like, oh my gosh. Cause
every minute of it's gonna be a blast. And we just drove around for 5 minutes and I'm all sweaty. So imagine doing a whole stage.
Yeah. I was telling him the other day about like the Narwhal stage at Olympus. It's 20 miles of doing that.
That would be a workout. Yeah, that would be a workout in this car.
Like, yeah. So what do you think, like, I know you've got some experience with cars in general. What do you think as far as like, if you were to be building or taking the Colt to the next level, some improvements?
Oh, that's really tough. For me, the first thing is just getting comfortable in the car, and because it has the Mr. Rad seat setup, it's about 12 inches too far away from the steering wheel for me. But yeah, that would be the first thing I would do. Maybe you could modernize like the dampening and stuff if you really wanted to, because I hit a few bumps and you definitely feel it. Yeah. But it's this stuff's super old. It's Safari stuff. Is it the Safari stuff that's on
everything
there?
From Penelope, from the other car.
So I mean, this stuff has like 40,000 miles of rallying on it. It's still going strong. The struts, the last time I looked at them, they're holding oil, which is incredible.
They're fine,
So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really change anything.
I think it's one of those where, and it's kind of the reason that I'm going to build a new car, is like, it's so good like it is that it's hard to ruin this to just go faster. Because like, this is what 70s.
It's exactly what it should be.
It's what it should be, you know? Like anything you change to this just kind of ruins what the vibe of the car is for me. And like, you know, the Escorts that are all gnarly with the Millingtons and the Group 4 suspension and all that, it's like, that's rad in its own sense. But what's cool about like our buddy George, you know, who I actually got this car from, and Patrick owned the other one where a lot of the suspension's from on this, but all of it, is like what George was rallying back in the day was basically this.
Yeah, it
like,
wasn't
as
much
it is,
different.
it wasn't much better. The brakes weren't any better. You know, this is like, I would say probably close to a happy, healthy 2-liter engine power plant. Maybe, I bet this is a little more top-endy than those 2 liters were. But this is like what, you know, George would have driven from his house to the rally, rallied it, and then drove it home.
Yeah.
You know, like this
and
in 1978.
This
right?
car would have been one of the better cars out there.
Yeah.
So there were people rallying a lot of different things, but the Colt was small, light, and you could stuff a big engine in it if you wanted to. And with Mitsubishi doing the Safari stuff, there were catalogs. You could order skid plates and Safari springs and struts and everything.
Yeah,
so
was rad.
they had, you know, Ford, I think, maybe has some stuff like that now, but you could order Mitsubishi rally parts out of a catalog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Penelope was bought new, full catalog ordered, installed on a car, straight to the rally stage.
Yeah, and that car was amazing because it was rallied and built by a guy named Larry Schmidt, and I think he was an engineer, and the car didn't come out of the factory like that. I think he developed it like over time. It won some championships over the years and had some great finishes, and I think he really, like, every year or every race or whatever, they were changing the car, making it better, and they really put together a really solid package.
Yeah, and I'd say a lot, basically all of that suspension development, so 30 years of racing Colts or 20 years is what's in here.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really cool to, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's the peak, but it's just, it's so good that it's just hard to want to change it.
Yeah.
I don't know, I love it. And I think too, like, you know, the confidence of, when we would jump into, like, you know, 10 years ago, we'd jump into Penelope and go rip it at the parts yard. I'll try to find some footage of that and put it in here. And we go rip them, and like, those cars were awesome, but like, you feel so much safer in this car now.
Yeah.
Just with the bars, the seat, it's a little bit, I don't know. It's one of those where, like, back then, you know, 10 years ago, we were driving these things when you owned them and Ryan owned this one, and they were very different, but they were still like a level of sketch. Whereas like now, I don't know, did it feel like tighter, not as rattly, a little bit better? I hope at least. Maybe a little
Yeah,
bit.
the cage makes you feel a little better. You know, there's more bars. It's just modernized safety equipment. The other, at the time when I had the other car, I kept everything exactly as it was.
Yeah.
So like, it was pretty much exactly how it rallied back in the day, and Larry may know, and he can correct us if I'm wrong, but I think the 2.6 liter was the same engine that was in the car that he built in a hotel room in 1981 at a rally somewhere with the wrong pistons and the wrong parts, and it stayed together for all those years. So
yeah, and like, you know, the statute of limitations might be out now. I don't think it matters, but at Southern Ohio Forest Rally last year, when we were like a minute and some change off pace for the first day with all the limited two-wheel drive guys, my upgraded carburetors, we actually had the big block 2.6 in the car.
he just bolted a performance part onto the carburetor, which was his his engine. So
we had a whole...
it's one of the best updates you can do. Just bolt an engine onto your carburetor.
Yeah, so when we were like ripping, you know, at Ojibwe, all the ARA guys who are watching this, I apologize, but no one would have known the difference. It was the big block, and that's why the thing partied, and that's how they raced them back in the day. And I mean,
that's how, yeah,
it was good. Like, that was a proper open two-wheel drive car in 1978, or even up to probably like up to 89. You know,
that
like,
car raced against the Group B Audi Quattro in the United States. So, and it wasn't, you know, they didn't win, but it was there. It was in the field. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I just love, you know, it's still, like, I was standing out there on top of the car watching you rip this thing, and I'm like, man, it's so sick to see this thing ripping around, and then you make that like hairpin at the very back, and I'm like, I can feel exactly how that feels.
Yeah.
You know, but seeing it on the outside is just, it's so rad. It like puts into perspective, you know, I've driven this thing 3,000 miles basically, all these rallies, but 0 of those rallies have been me seeing anything but a picture or a video of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just so cool to see. So
the other thing to consider too is like just how small and how light the car is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, you know, like if you went out and did this in a modern car, you just wouldn't have the same feeling, because this car is so short and so narrow and so small, and it really translates to the thing feels like it's built for this.
Yeah.
Like it performs, the way it handles, the way it drives. Like, if you go drive your truck down a rock road and you get to a 90-degree corner at 45 miles an hour, you're like, uh-oh, because you're not going to make the turn.
Yeah.
And this thing, with the camber, with the tires, with the wheelbase, with the size and the weight, it knows, okay, this is what I'm made for, and you just pitch it out a little bit, you get on the throttle, and it bites.
Yeah.
The first time I ever drove one of these was the first time I ever slid a car around a gravel corner, and I could move the car in to the inside of the corner while I was driving it. And at that point, I knew whatever they did with the camber and the arms in the front to poke them out just slightly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it makes all the difference, because you couldn't do that in a car that wasn't set up for that.
No. I mean, like, I've ripped the Buzz, the LRX-8, many a different car on gravel roads, and a lot of those cars are bigger, right? So the road feels narrower. But this, you can change your line mid-corner very easily, lift off the throttle, it'll dive in a little bit, drive into it more, and you're gonna power out. You let off the throttle, maybe touch a handbrake or something, you can move it out in the corner. You know, it's like drifting if you're a drifter, but it's just like the margin of error is so much smaller, I think, because like if you
It doesn't have much steering angle.
yeah, and on gravel it washes out really easy. Like you can really easily try to do something and just like you're in the ditch, because it happens a lot faster than pavement because you have a lot less traction in gravel.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like ice. Like you either have traction or you don't.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
yeah, and once you like get started on the wrong path, it happens pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for just, you know, Patrick's gonna see the next car here in a little bit. Excited to lengthen and widen the chassis, gain a little bit of weight, but I think it should be able to, I think we'll be able to create about the same feel. I don't know.
so.
It'll make more power, it'll have more grip, it'll have better brakes, it'll be a lot safer. It'll definitely be faster, you know, overall. But it's still one of those things, like it's gonna be hard to ever sell this thing, or just like even you held on to it for so long.
I know.
Because they're just so good the way they are.
Right. And
you know?
and in the rest of the world, like this car wasn't popular in the United States.
Yeah.
But in the rest of the world, the Lancer, Colt, whatever you want to call this, it was called the king of cars.
Yeah.
So like it was winning rallies, it was winning the East African Safari. Like people everywhere else knew what this car was, and it was like a legend. Here it's not, but when you drive it, you see it, you get to work on it, you can see why.
Yeah.
So you know these things in Africa were beating like the Lancia Stratos, the 911, and when you look at this car compared to a 911 or a Stratos in a safari rally, a longer rally like that, you know, some of it's the reliability, some of it's just the ease of operation, no complications. And the chassis is pretty strong for what it is. So like 911s, they blow the strut towers out and all this, and you know, this is a pretty old car and it hasn't been done yet. So
surprisingly, the frame rails are pretty much dead straight still.
Yeah.
Like the old RX-7 rally cars I had, both of them were bent. Like the frames were bent, they had plates on them, like it was gnarly.
yeah, so it's a really in a lot of the world, this is a really legendary car.
Yeah.
So here it's kind of unusual. It was sold as a Chrysler or a Dodge.
Yeah.
But
making it legendary.
the rest of the world, it's a legend, and there's a reason for that. It's not. It can be backed up. So.
Hell yeah.
And it's cool to be able to experience that, you know, still to this day.
Yep. All right, guys, we just finished driving the Colt, and I want to show Patrick the new rally car, but you guys don't get to see it. We're just going to get to see his reaction to it, and he knows what it is before he got here, but I'm going to uncover it, and then we'll talk about a few of my ideas. So, Patrick, you've seen it sitting here. What's your initial thoughts of, I guess, my rally car plan?
I think it's awesome. Oh man, that's cool. Look at the color. Are you gonna keep it that color?
No.
It looks awesome. It's sort of like a Colt, only slightly larger.
Maybe a little heavier.
Yeah, maybe a little
It
heavier,
might share
but
a couple of the same letters in the name as the Dodge Colt.
this is true. But
All right, what do
it's
you think?
no, it's gonna be super cool. It's gonna be awesome.
And then it's like rad whenever you have an idea, right? And then we talk about it on the phone like a couple months ago, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this car. We're gonna take it to rally. It's gonna be sick. And then like now you're here, and I'm like, hey, look, that's the car that we
There
talked
it
about.
is,
Like we
yeah,
actually have one, you know, like
yeah.
real time.
That's cool. That's cool. Imagine having an engine bay that's big enough to work in.
I know.
That's gonna be fun.
Especially like if we do certain engines in there,
Yep.
we'll have so much room for activities around that engine. It's gonna be gnarly.
Super cool. Looks great.
Yeah, the money shot's back here though. Here, come here. Look at it from like right here. Because this is like the cleanest corner of the whole car.
Yeah, that's good. It's the most complete corner.
I know.
The stripes.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Don't have a tail light. We still got the chrome little the gills on the side though.
Oh yeah,
And then
that's
you can
gonna
see
be awesome.
the TEs. Like it would look sick on
I know, it
TEs.
really would. That's gonna be a good time.
I know. And honestly, like the color's not as old man as like it's
kind of
growing
awesome.
on me. It's
I
not
know.
bad, you know?
I would be painting it that color.
Yeah. Sweet.
That's awesome.
Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I want to give Patrick a huge thanks for coming out and just hanging out. We went and rode dirt bikes yesterday, and I've known Patrick I wouldn't say as long as Calvin, but definitely since like probably middle school. At least I was in middle school, you were in high school. He's a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
Back in the dirt bike days, which was basically before we had rally cars, we did all the dumb stuff we do with dirt bikes. So
that's right.
I was pumped for him to come back up and just...
Well, thanks for letting me take this thing for a rip. It's amazing the build on it now that you've done, combining the two cars and taking the best of everything, and it's super fun. So thanks for letting me take it around.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And I'm hoping in the future, you know, this car isn't going to go away, that we can get, you know, whether it's Patrick or George or any of our buddies to come out and rally this alongside of us rallying a new car, because it's one of those, it's such a simple car, and as long as you keep it out of the weeds, like, it's going to complete the event. You know, it's well tested for 40 years, and sharing the rally experience with more people is one of the things it's why I love making the rally videos for you guys, and just why I love going to these events.
Right,
you know,
and
people hyped for it.
I don't want to forget to mention this car, I think, was originally built by Ricky in the 90s, so we'll give a shout out to him.
Yeah, Ricky De La Cuesta.
Yeah,
I think I'm friends with him on Facebook from years and years ago. But
yeah, I think he's in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I do have the original logbooks for both cars with the like
original photos,
builders and everything in it, which is rad. So,
very cool.
Cool. All right, Patrick.
Thanks,
so
Eric.
much. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, live a life you don't need a vacation from, and keep it rad. All right, the new car is sick.
Yes.
There you go. That's your teaser.
Check it out.